Hello you guys, this is Ivy, and today I'm gonna start a brand new series on this channel which I hope you guys end up loving. It's going to be about Sims 2 and all of the stories in that game, and I've been carrying this idea with me around for a while because I remember spending a lot of time playing The Sims 2, and I remember that the story was super rich in all of the different scenarios that each family could have, and every single family, they were intertwined and the Sims had relationships and you kind of had this kind of underlying thing going on. And I'm gonna show you these stories so that maybe you can come back and play Sims 2 and appreciate it, because honestly I don't think Sims 3 and especially Sims 4 had this happening in games. They give you a little bit more freedom in kind of like deciding what's going to happen in game, and I really do miss having a little bit of a beginning, something that gives you a bit of context for what you're going to be playing and what you're going to be doing in game. And if you guys are ready, get yourself a snack and let's go. There we go, guys. We're gonna start with Pleasant View, one of the original towns. That's where the God family lives, and many other that you probably do remember. I personally picked this town because it's a non-DLC, because many characters carry on being in other games. God family continues being in Sims from the very first game, and then we see it in Sims 2, and then in Sims 3, and even in Sims 4 we have the God family, and I've decided why not. But however, we are not gonna start with this family. We're gonna start with the family who carry a last name Pleasant. On the surface, Daniel and Mary Sue Pleasant seem to have the perfect life, but is their love a flimsy facade? And can Angela and Lilith make the right choices when it comes to love? This family is very peculiar. When we load this family, we start playing on a Thursday early morning. That's the day when girls are about to go to school, as we see Daniel is really thinking about something, and in the corner we have the pop-up that says, "Who says good? Help is hard to find." Daniel has his eye on the maid and wants a little romance, but will this decision affect his family somehow? Let's take a look at the relationship of Daniel. Daniel is married to Mary Sue. They don't have a lot of love going over there. However, there is a lot of love going with Kaylin, their homemade. One of their twin daughters, Angela, decent relationship. However, not so much with Lilith, and he is an enemy of Dustin Broke. Dustin, as we learn later on, is one of his daughter's boyfriend. Mary Sue is married to Daniel. Good relationship with Angela, but not so much with Lilith as well. Best friends with Cassandra God, remember that name, we'll get back to it. And then there is a bunch of family and friends going on as well. Let's look at Angela. Angela hates Lilith, quite decent relationship with mom and dad, and Dustin is her crush. Remember the guy that Daniel hates? And if we take a look at Lilith, she kind of has a very poor relationship with her family, especially with her twin sister, and she is in love with Dirk Dreamer, who we also gonna cover a little later on in the series. All right, let's begin. So there we go. Mary Sue kind of jumps in the arms of Daniel. There is some good moment happening between them, and as soon we're going to see there finally hearts that are going on. So was their relationship not that good before? I don't know. It looks like maybe there is some long forgotten love that's rekindled. Oh, we see that Daniel really wants to woohoo with Kaylin. That's his wish, and that's something that he really wants to do. On the background, we see their twin sisters fighting and kind of like not having a good time with each other. Lilith is totally abusing Angela over here, and they are almost mortal enemies, and very soon we're gonna find out why. There we go. It's time for girls to go to school. It's time for Mary Sue to go to her work. Angela is not doing a good job. I think she's having a little breakdown over here. There we go. The family leaves, which leaves Daniel at home all by himself. Let's say goodbye to Angela and Lilith, let's say goodbye to Mary Sue, and let's go ahead and see what Daniel is doing and maybe speed up time for him a little bit, because we are waiting for someone else to arrive, a person that's going to be part of this family story, kind of like a piece of a puzzle. So Daniel is here, we fast forwarded a bit, he's sitting here reading a newspaper, and there she is, Kaylin, the maid. She walks in the house, and do you think she wants to clean it? No. She is here for an entirely different reason, and the reason is she wants to hang out. Now, I have not tried what's going to happen if you press no, but we want to make things a little interesting, so we are actually going to go ahead and press yes. Now she's just going to be hanging out in our house, not cleaning. Daniel goes ahead and kisses the girl, because isn't that what he wants to do? After some of the kissing is done, we are going ahead and doing the woohoo. Because remember, it's one of the Daniel's wishes. Sims 2 is very good with those little cutscenes that you're about to see. It was a little bit embarrassing to play as a kiddo, but I actually think it's a very nice touch. It's something that all of the other Sims games, I think, are missing. Let's enjoy this beautiful cutscene, because it's important for us. Something else is going to happen right afterwards. Alright, Daniel's wish, I think, just came true, and it doesn't look like Kaylin was protesting. As soon as they're done, we get a little pop-up about Mary Sue and her career problems. The controller has a stack of paperwork on his deck that Mary Sue has been asked to read through and assign priority levels to the tasks. About halfway through the stack, she finds some speeches that the controller has been asked to edit. Mary Sue has an okay eye for syntax, and she knows how busy the controller is, so she could try editing them herself, or scan the speeches into her word processor and run the grammar check on them. Now, there are 3 variants over here, and we are going to try the first one and the second one. I am not sure what's going to happen if you click ignore, but there are options edit, and there's also an option grammar check. In scenario number 1, we're going to go ahead and click the grammar check. Mary Sue scans the documents, plugs them into her word processor, and lets the built-in grammar check to do its thing. Upon completion, she sends the documents off to the controller without even double-checking, trusting the wisdom of microscotch grammar check. Apparently, the controller trusted in Mary Sue, sent the speeches off without reviewing them either, because a few hours later the controller gets an irate phone call from someone at legislator's office. It seems as though the grammar check somehow managed to replace the entire contents of one of the speeches with the first 2 acts of Titus Andronicus, and as inexplicable as it may be, Mary Sue is fired for her mistake. So if you go over the grammar check, Mary Sue is fired, which automatically sends her home. She comes home from work and she is absolutely devastated. She is very money-oriented sim. She wants to have a job, she wants to make money, and as we can see, her worst fear of being fired just came true. She lost some points and she absolutely lost it. There we go. There is this weird professor that's fallen out of the sky to help the Sims that are having a hard time in life. I don't know, some kind of like a therapy thing. I have not seen it in any other game. I think Sims 2 is doing a very good touch with that. He's checking up on her, and if you see the in the bottom left corner, there are her fears and her wants, and there is also a bar that can go up and down, and it went all the way down to the red, and that's how you know that she lost it entirely. She is not happy. So the little doctor comes and help. Another worst fears of hers is that she can see her husband, that she can catch her husband Daniel cheating, and that's exactly what he has been doing. Kaylin is still there. We kind of want to see the scenario through, so we need to do a little bit of the magic here. We need to actually wake Daniel up and make him go and kiss Kaylin over there, because this is definitely what's supposed to happen. I mean, you can probably avoid on that, and you can probably like ditch the story, but we are pushing it. We're pushing for Daniel to go and kiss Kaylin. He does not know that his wife just came home from work because she did not enter the house yet. Wife is going into the bedroom to probably tell her husband that she doesn't feel so good because she has just been fired. And imagine that, right? Two of your worst fears coming true in one day. She's taking a weird route there. Both Daniel and Kaylin are kissing in the bathroom right on top of the toilet. I mean, don't ask. It's Sims. They do things and all of the weird things at the same time. Girls have just come home from school as well, and I think something bad is gonna happen. Mary Sue walks in on her husband kissing another woman, crying out about her lost job. And there she goes again. Her second worst fear of catching her husband cheating on her comes true. And she loses it again. If you caught it, Daniel's fear of being caught also came true today. So there goes the doctor. Lilith came home from school. Obviously, she's an A+ student, and she got the A+ at school, and she's boasting to her dad. Dad is a little bit irritated. He's kind of ignoring the girl a little bit. It's kind of a madness. His aspirations are so not family oriented. He wants to woohoo with 3 people. He wants to have 3 lovers at the same time, while his wife is having a mental breakdown. What a family. He is totally implying that his wife has lost it. The doctor did his thing. And there is one of the things that can happen. Mary Sue can break up with Daniel. Daniel is kissing a plate, obviously because things are not going too well for him either. There is this maid in the room as well that's gonna see it happen. And Mary Sue breaks up with Daniel. She pretty much kicks him out of the house. She will not take it anymore. She just lost her job, and she tells him to go and get lost. What results in it, and this, since their marriage is over, Daniel will no longer be a part of this household. He is just gone. As you can see, there is only Mary Sue and the daughters left. So let's explore the second scenario here, right? So the guys, they had a little bit of the woohoo thing, but instead of doing the grammar check, we're gonna go and press the edit button, because maybe something else is gonna happen, right? Let's find out. We are pressing the edit button, and we get the result of Mary Sue carefully reads through the speeches and finds a few typos as well as some really awkward syntax. She dutifully marks the errors and suggests the proper changes before turning the speeches to a relatively uncluttered section of the controller's desk, along with a sticky note that says done. The entire process has taken her almost 2 hours, and when the controller returns, Mary Sue has barely started on prioritizing the stack of paperwork. The controller chastises her and makes it clear that he needs an intern that will do what she's told first, and then spend whatever free time she has on doing apparently some other tasks, which does not get Mary Sue fired, but she loses her position. She has been demoted because of her poor work performance, and she is kind of not happy about it, right? She's really not happy about it, but at least she's not losing it. So she just got home from work, and she's on her way to bedroom. 2 of the guys are still in bed, and she sees it happen. She literally walks in on them still being in bed. I feel like this scenario is a little bit more dramatic. This time Daniel is the one who loses it because his worst fear of being caught came true. So he's the one that lost all of the aspiration points, and there comes the doctor. What we are going to do in this case, though, is we are not going to break up with Daniel, because this family has kids, and the kids are doing good, and for the sake of kids, we are going to keep the marriage, and for the sake of kids, Mary Sue and Daniel are going to stay together. As you can see, they're still married. It's just that their relationship is far from being perfect. They practically hate each other. So what I did, I went over and I went ahead and I just decided to like start beating up Kaylin, I wanted to say waitress. She's obviously not a waitress. The cleaning lady. Well, Daniel's having a hard time over there being a baboonie, apparently. But yes, there we go. Let's see how the things are going to unfold. Kids are about to come home from school. And let's fast forward to that moment. There we go. Kids are back from school. Both of the girls, we can take a look at Lilith. She probably did not get the very good grade. She kind of like folds her record, says screw that. Mary Sue greets Cassandra Gott, who came over with a visit. They are best friends. Angela, though, brought a friend home from school. And that happens on the first day that you play. Dustin comes over. Little bit of a spoiler, probably, if you play as Dustin's family for your very first day. On his very first day back from school, he will bring Angela over because they're little sweethearts. So Angela boasts to Dad about her grades, and that's another trait of Daniel's. Daniel is almost fat, and he stuffs his face regularly. You will see him eating more than you will see any other scene eaten in this family. And I think that's because he's got some midlife crisis. He is almost turning old. He just got caught cheating by his wife with the maid. And look at him. Look at that guy. He is just stuffing his face. And he would do that all the time. If you're not controlling him, if you just let him do what he wants to do, that's exactly what he's going to do. Daniel also hates Dustin. He really cannot stand his guts. So he goes ahead and he throws a cup of water in the poor boy's face. I really don't know what's happening in this household. This household is a mess. They're probably not very pleasant at all. There we see Mary Sue fighting with Kayling. I'm not sure if that's going to turn into the full blessed fight, but they're slapping each other. I still have no idea why the maid is walking around the house wearing her underwear while kids are home, while Dustin is there. Lilith is playing video games. She does not like her family. She doesn't really like hanging out with them. So there we have Mom and some maid lady fighting. And there we go. Angela goes ahead and gives Dustin her very first kiss. They're officially now sweethearts. We again see a cute little cutscene of them getting lifted from the floor because of how much they love each other. And I thought that was gonna infuriate Daniel. However, Daniel has no reaction to it. I guess he just kind of like still hates Dustin's gut. But it was kind of curious to see what was gonna happen. There we go. As I said, Daniel, what is he doing? Stuffing his face. That guy is gonna get fat really, really, really fast. Look at him. You can see the fitness, and you can see that he's a couple of meals away of getting super obese. All right, let's take a look at people's memories. I think that's one of the coolest things that The Sims 2 has, that everything that happens to you Sims gets stored in the memories, and even if you're playing those Sims for the very first time, you will see that. Oh my god, now there is Angela and Lilith fighting, of course, because they hate each other guts. Let's continue looking at Mary's Sue memories. We can see that she fell in love. She had her first kiss with Daniel, and she fell in love with Daniel. There was no other man. They got engaged, got married, they woohooed, had kids, and we see that Angela grew up well, but Lilith grew up badly. So from that, you can tell that they, as parents, paid a lot of attention to Angela's growth and how Angela is gonna grow up. And they did not pay that much attention to Lilith, and that's why Lilith has such a poor relationship with her entire family. Let us take a look at Daniel's memories. It's a very memorable thing for him that he woohooed with the servant. Also, green memories are obviously good memories, red memories are obviously bad memories. We can see that Daniel, getting engaged to Mary Sue is a bad memory. Same as getting married to her is a bad memory for him. Guy has commitment issues. We can also see that his parents, Diana and Jeff, died right after his kids were born, and then, you know, we've seen the rest. There is not much happened in that guy's life. You know, was born and, you know, got engaged, parents died, and that's the thing. This is honestly such a weird moment in game because an entire family just sits down for a nice dinner, including the maid that their dad cheated on their mom with, and they're all are sitting there sharing a meal and having a nice chat as if nothing ever happened. This part is really weird to me. I really do not understand why the maid has not left. Why is she still there? Why is she hanging out with the family? Why are they having a meal like nothing happened? You're like, oh, my husband has cheated. My husband has cheated on me with you, and then you are my daughter's boyfriend, who my husband also hates, and those are my daughters who hate each other. But hey, let's share a nice bowl of porridge, because I'm certain that was porridge. So we see Mary Sue go into bed in Lily's room. She would not go to sleep with her husband. And trust me, I tried making her go to sleep in their family bed, but then she just would not go. She would not go. There goes Angela. She's trying to sleep in that bed. Mom is there. She cannot access it. We are trying to and send Mary Sue and sleep with Daniel. Sleep in pajamas? And let's take a look at her. She's like, no. There is no way. She hates this guy's guts and she would refuse to sleep with him. So there we go. That is pretty much the story of this family. There's a lot of things that happen on your very first day, the moment you start playing with it. You have a family that looks super happy. You know, mom, dad, they're twin daughters, but not everything is as good as it seems on the surface. And it's absolutely scripted. I did not make any of this up. Game has all of those things scripted for you. It scripts the appearance of the maid. It gives you the prompt of having her stay or not having her stay. It always, as soon as they woohoo, gives you the prompt of wife having problems at work. No matter what you pick, she either gets fired or not, but she gets sent home. She catches her husband cheating on her, and then it's for you to decide what's going to happen next. Whether they're going to get a divorce and Daniel is going to get kicked off the household, whether they're going to stay together and going to try and mend their relationship, whether Daniel is ever going to stop trying to cheat on his wife with 3 different Sims, whether he is not going to stop and he's going to continue doing it behind her back. What is Mary Sue going to do about her work? Is she going to find a new one? How are the sisters going to handle each other? Are they going to become friends? Are they going to hate each other for the rest of their lives? What's going to happen with their boyfriends? You know, is their family going to approve of them being together as soon as they grow up? Because, you know, when you start playing them, they grow up and turn into adults in 9 days. It's all up to you, and I think that's exciting because that gives you context, that gives you things to work with. It makes things a little bit complicated. It's a really complicated family with a lot of issues happening inside it, and it makes things extremely fun to handle and play, and it's kind of like the rest, the ending of the story. You're writing it. So there we go. That was the not so pleasant family. We are gonna wait till it's time for Lilith to sneak out with her boyfriend, because I really want to show you the vehicle that he's gonna come and pick her up in, and we're almost done. So we speed time a little bit, and we can see that Lilith is sneaking out with her boyfriend Derek in a freaking limousine. Because why not? Because they're teenagers in school and it's 1 a.m. and they're sneaking out, and he stole a limousine, and yeah. That Sims. So this is it. This is a pleasant family story. Not so pleasant, really. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I cannot wait to show you more families from Sims 2 and their stories and their little scenarios. If you loved this video, give it a thumbs up. If you did not, give it the thumbs down. Subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.